Namaste yogis and welcome. My name's Maria and today I have a gentle evening yoga flow for you. This is perfect to do at the beginning of your evening to unwind after a stressful or a long day, or it's also great to do right before bed. We'll begin right away in a seated position. Place both of your hands and the tips of your fingertips beside your hips. Close your eyes, take one big inhale. And exhale out through the mouth, let it all go. We'll do 2 more big breaths in just like that, and close your eyes if you want to here. On your last one, try to pull the shoulders away from the ears on your exhale. Good. Plant your left hand on the ground. Lift your right hand up and over, and reach your right fingertips over to the left side. You can walk your left hand out a little bit, bend your left elbow. We're getting a nice stretch along the right side body here. Plug that right shoulder back. Option to look up. Inhale, maybe lift the chest up towards the sky a little more. Exhale, release. Bring that hand back down. Plant the right hand. Lift the left hand up and over. Fingertips to the right side of the room. Bend that right elbow. Plug the left shoulder back and maybe rotate your heart to shine up. Option to look up here. Inhale and exhale. Return your hands back down beside you. Bring your right hand up to grab your left ear and bring your right ear towards your left shoulder. So begin to gently pull that ear away, getting maybe a nice stretch in the left side of the neck here. Pull that left shoulder away from that left ear as you do that, but very gentle pull here. And breathe. Good. Inhale, release. Bring your left hand up and over to grab your right ear, left ear towards left shoulder, and then pull the right shoulder away from the left ear. Gentle tug here. And just find whatever spot feels good. Gently moving your chin maybe up or down or diagonal until you find that stretch. Maybe you start to walk the fingertips away. Good. And release both hands to the ground. We're going to move into child's pose. So come onto your hands and knees. Knees come as wide as the mat. Toes come to touch. Heels are apart. Walk your hands forward on your mat. Drop your forehead onto the ground and gently rest your front body onto the mat. Inhale in here and exhale to relax as we start to settle in. Take a moment to tune in. Focus your attention inward and just realize that this is your own time on your mat today. Let's take time to explore, take time to listen, and relax, hopefully. Inhale in here, breathe into all 4 sides of the torso, grow your belly as big as you can. And exhale out here. Maybe let this be the biggest exhale you've had all day. Release any tension that you have right now, or as much as you can. Inhale to get big, blow up like a balloon. And exhale to release, relax a little more. Maybe drop your heart a little more towards the ground. Couple more breaths here. Roll up, coming onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. Bring your knees underneath your hips, or they can stay as wide as the mat for this one. Lift your left arm up. Fingertips reach all the way up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Thread that left arm through and underneath the right arm and shoulder. coming into a gentle twist here. Your right arm can stay where it is, option to bring it and walk it up towards the front of the room. And then from there, you can stay there or walk it over to the left side of the mat. And play around with whatever feels best here. Return your hand back underneath where your shoulder would be. Lift yourself back up and return your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Inhale, lift the right arm up above, fingertips reach up to the sky. Inhale and exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left arm, the left shoulder. Your left arm, your left hand can stay here, option to walk it up to the front of the mat or diagonal to the right side of the mat. And just twist, just go until where you can breathe. If you've gotten to a position where you can't breathe any longer, just come back a little bit. Bring your left hand back underneath your left shoulder, push yourself up, and return your right hand underneath your right shoulder. So coming back into tabletop position, this time bring your knees underneath your hips. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Inhale, we'll drop the belly, coming into a cow pose. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the tailbone up. We'll stay here for a moment. Just moving around, finding what feels nice. Press your fingertips into the mat as you exhale to round through the upper back. Tailbone lengthens down. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the chest. And exhale, chin to chest, round through the upper back, cat pose. Inhale, maybe feel the front body stretch, the front chest. And exhale, feeling the back of the body stretch. A few more times on your own here, moving with your own breath. So inhaling for cow pose, dropping the belly, opening the chest. And exhaling to close the chest, draw the chin to the chest. On your next cat pose, exhale, round through the upper back. Stay here for one breath cycle. Push away from the mat, feel the shoulder blades expand to either side of the torso here. Inhale and exhale. Return to neutral spine. Tuck the toes under. Tuck the back toes under. Maybe walk the hands up just a little bit. Rotate the inner elbows to face forward. Ground down through all 10 knuckles. Spread the fingers wide. Lift the knees. Inhale. And then exhale to lift the hips up high to the sky. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees here as much as you need to. Pedal out the feet. Your heels do not need to touch the floor. Push away from the mat. Your ears or bow your biceps. Ground down through all 10 knuckles, making sure that that pointer finger, knuckle, and thumb are pressing down into the mat. Lift the right leg up high to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee, bring it up and in towards that right elbow. Drop the right knee, bringing that right heel towards the left hip. Okay, so from here, this is pigeon pose, coming onto your fingertips, sitting up straight. The most important thing here is that your hips are both facing towards the front of the room, so they don't have to be grounded. They just have to be facing the same way. Don't flex your foot here, just have a relaxed foot. Option to bring the shin parallel to the front of the mat if you need an extra challenge. You also have the option to just rest your elbows onto the mat and breathe. Walk your hands back up. Roll onto the outer right hip as you pivot that left foot and that left leg to come up and over so the left toes are pointing up. Bring that right heel into the groin area and shift on your hips a little to face your left foot. So you guys can see a little clearly, I'm going to move, but this is how we're doing it. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale to gently bend over your legs. Gentle hamstring stretch here, keeping your back straight. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, maybe to sink a little deeper. Good. And then we'll release to come back up. Plant the right hand behind your hip, fingers face the front of the mat behind you. Come on to, lift your hips and come on to your right shin, coming into a wild thing variation. Left hand goes up and over. They reach, fingertips reach behind you. Pushing away from the mat, sending the heart up to the sky, lifting your gaze to look up. Inhale. And exhale to release. Sit your hips back down. Return to a plank pose, coming back into a downward facing dog. Push away from the mat here, maybe re-pedal out the feet. And then ground down through the right heel. Lift the left leg up to the sky. Toes facing down, hips are level here. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee up towards your left elbow. Left heel towards your right hip, and then drop that shin to the mat. Maybe move a little bit back on your hips, finding a nice stretch. We're opening up through the left hip now. Option to bring your shin up parallel to the mat, as long as both of your hips are level. Or option to bring your elbows onto the ground. Pull the shoulders away from the ears if you're here, or if you're up on your fingertips, to find length through the upper neck as we settle in here and rest in pigeon pose for a few breaths. Inhale to walk your hands back up. Pivot onto that left outer hip, and as you sit onto that left outer hip, your right toes are going to point up now, and bring that left heel into your groin area. You're going to turn your torso to face your right foot. Inhale to reach your arms up, and exhale to lean forward as far as you can, and then bring your hands and your fingertips onto the mat to rest. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. Flex the toes back, stretching through the hamstrings. Inhale to fill up. Maybe get a little longer. Exhale to sink a little deeper. Okay, return, walk yourself back up. Place your left hand on the mat behind you, facing the front of the mat. Lift your hips, pivot on that left shin, sending your toes behind you as well. Coming into a wild thing variation on the other side. Plant your right sole of the foot onto the ground. Shine your heart up to the sky as your right arm reaches back behind you. Inhale and exhale to sit back down. Bring your right leg into your hips as well. And maybe we turn to face the short side of our mat now. Bringing your soles of your feet together, knees as wide as the mat, let them fall, let your legs relax. Grab onto your ankles or your soles of your feet, and maybe give your feet a little massage here. If you've been standing all day, maybe this will feel really good. And just breathe. Don't force anything here. We're taking some time to release and relax, not create added tension. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the sky. Exhale, maybe you lean forward, leaning your heart over the soles of your feet for an extra hip stretch here. Inhale, exhale, send the shoulders away from the ears to find length in the neck. Bring your torso back over your hips, keeping your head over your heart and your heart over your pelvis. for one more breath cycle in here. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale slowly and gently out through the mouth or the nose. Bring your hands to your knees and bring your knees back up to center. And then make your way to lying down on the ground. Bring your knees into your chest. And maybe rock a little bit side to side. Your hips and your low back are pressed up against the mat, so maybe you're giving a little bit of a low back massage. Option to stay here. Otherwise, we'll lift our legs up, stacking the heels over top of the knees and the knees over top of the hips for legs up the wall. If you're looking for a more restorative pose, you can definitely take this up to a wall nearby and just rest your legs on the wall. Your hands can rest on the ground beside you, palms facing down or palms facing up. You can keep a slight bend in your knees here, or you can start to straighten them with however much you're comfortable. Keeping your shoulders pressed onto the mat here. Low back and hips pressed onto the mat. Send the heels up towards the sky. Pull the toes back towards your body, your torso. Inhale. And exhale to bend the knees and release. To finish off here, we have a few options. You can return your soles of the feet back onto the mat, knees bent, and bring your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees fall in. This feels great for the low back, so if you're looking for some low back love, this is perfect. Option to do a traditional savasana, send your legs straight out and let the feet fall wide. Or you can finish off here with a Baddha Konasana supine. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. Bring the knees wide. Let the arms rest by your sides, by your torso, palms face up. Start to relax your body. Start to relax your forehead and that area between your eyebrows. Relax your cheeks, your jaw. Maybe soften your mouth. Maybe you part the lips. Relax the tongue. Soften the shoulders. Relax your breathing. Just return to your natural breath. Any thoughts that arise, notice them, and then let them float by. Let it go. You can stay here as long as you'd like. Maybe pause the video, or maybe just let it run. But I'm going to bring the palms of my hands to touch and my thumbs to my third eye. Thank you so much for practicing and unwinding with me today. I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed and a little less tense from the day. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.